Hey y'all, hey, and welcome to another session of Meditations with Marigny. So this morning, if you like my videos consistently, I'd love for you to click like. I'd love for you to share it with a friend. And to help me meet my 200 mark for subscribers by December 31st, I would love for you to subscribe if this is your first time here. So I want to just jump right in. You guys know I did an update on the online dating the other day. And please excuse me, I'm still, I keep forgetting about the microphone. I'm still recovering from my partying on the pool table the other night. And I really shouldn't have inhaled that much smoke. Like my body just was not ready for it. So, and my phone may be pinging, guys, because I had text someone a group text before I came on this live. So anyway, I want to talk a little bit about um we've been talking about dating, the online dating process, and kind of just vetting people. And I thought about whether or not we are being picky. Like, are we too picky when it comes down to the people that we are choosing? Or are we strategically making sure that we are looking at someone that could be a lifelong partner? And I think that it's very important to look at the little things. Like sometimes we can see the big picture. Oh, he has a job or she has a job and she's consistent with how she takes care of her kids and she has a clean house and she can cook and, you know, maybe she can ex me well. All of those different components that we have that we look at. Oh, he has a good job. He drives a nice car. He takes me to this restaurant. He can do this. We look at the big picture, and that's great because the big picture is important. But we need to look at the little things. You guys know I did a video the other day talking about the little things that we think about, the little small nuances, the small things that get on our nerves, the small things that are important to us. And sometimes we discount those things in the dating process because we don't want to seem like we're nitpicking. However, I do think that we need to be selective. And I do think that realistically, in the age bracket of people that I'm speaking with, we are no longer in that age bracket where we're like, you know, building so many things with people. I think that we are in a rebuilding stage and it's going to look different than when we were in our 20s. So I'm giving you that prerequisite because in speaking with someone and talking with them, and we were kind of scheduling a time to meet this coming weekend, just the more that I gave thought to it, I was like, it's just nope. I don't need to go. Like we might could get a good friendship out of this, but just some of the conversation that he and I have had, some of the things that we have discussed. Um, Great guy, great package deal. But for me, I am a glass half full type girl. And I'm going to always look at whatever it is in a positive manner. Now, let me say this. That doesn't mean that little shouty over here don't know how to get upset. Because I think sometimes people confuse the fact that just because somebody is nice, that they don't never get upset. We all have that component in us. We all have a level of, I'm sick of your yes. Every one of us has that. It just may take some people longer to get to that component than it does others. Some people might live in that every day, all the time, like that's their level. But there are others of us that the patience and the nurturing and the opportunity to help mold and shape people, it takes us a lot longer to get to that space. So I'm saying that because I'm using two different situations here to, if I'm completely honest. One of the situations, like we were talking about something and they made a comment. I was saying that I don't buy a lot of different gadgets. I'm just not one of those people that moves with the trend of what the world is doing. If it's a trend that I need to move with, if it's a trend that is I have been forced into that capacity, then yes, I may fold to that. But just because everybody, prime example, is wearing them big, ugly, werewolf looking boots, I am not getting ready to go buy a pair of those. I think that those boots, they look like they heavy. first of all. And then it's like, I don't care what nobody say, they're not attractive. Like, it's nothing cute about that. They look like werewolves. Like, it reminds me of Bigfoot when I look at it. So, and I'm sorry, that's just my 2 cents. Anybody that I offended, just, what they say, charge it to my head, not to my heart. But I meant that. So, I'm not a trendy type person. I buy what I like. I wear what I like. I drive what I like. So even if I were to get a BMW or a Mercedes or an Infiniti, I like all three of those brands. But if I get one, it's not going to be because that's what everybody else is doing. It's going to be because that's really the car that I like. Like, I like that BMW 7 Series. And I really love that BMW X7. That the SUV, yeah, it got my name all over it. But just out of a trend, I have not purchased one. And secondly, because I just think affordability, my Honda does the same thing that BMW will do for me, and it does it at a less cost maintenance wise and payment wise. So I'm very practical when it comes to those components. And I'm giving you that background because I don't move with the trends. And I said something to someone about me not having a lot of gadgets. My son has an air fryer. And so, yes, I've enjoyed using the air fryer. And when he moves, he's taking his air fryer with him. And because he's brought it, I may actually use it. But many times, if I want to heat up my chicken wings or something like that, or if I had a piece of fish, I don't like to put those items in the microwave. Well, I'm funny about the house smelling funny anyway. So fish in the microwave, that's never going to be something I would do. And for those of you that do that at work, you're wrong for that. Like, when y'all come in and put salmon in the microwave and make the whole office smell like salmon, yeah, nobody likes that, just so you'll know. But I would typically put those type foods in the oven. And that's because I like for it to have its original feel to it. If it's in the oven, it heats differently, it bakes differently than when you put it in the microwave. And so this particular person said, well, thank God that, we're not dependent on you, because we'd still be Marigny would still be riding on a horse and buggy because she wouldn't see a need for a vehicle. And I said, well, no. And they were talking to me specifically about a neti pot because, as I told you guys, when I went into that smoky place, I had to really clean my sinuses out. And I was saying that I just have the old neti pot, like the hand manual one that you have to use. And I know they have these new ones that you can put them on your face. It's a mask and you sit there and it lets it open you up and all of that. But first of all, I'm really not sitting still that long. And secondly, I just wouldn't see the need to have another gadget. So my point is that there are several things that I've said to this person, and each time that I say something, they would come back with like a little underlining negative comment, sarcasm. And I'm good with sarcasm because I'm sarcastic myself. Like, I can bring it, but it's a difference. Like, you can feel when there's a vibe with you and someone that y'all are kind of giving it and taking it back to each other. And so I said to them, well, no, I don't think I'd still be in horse and carriage because I do see the affordability of having a vehicle, and I can see the reasoning behind that. But when it comes to me getting a new neti pot, that just because everybody else has it and it's battery operated and the world says that it's better, this one is accomplishing the same thing that one would do. It may do it a little faster, it may do it a little bit better, but I'm still getting the same results. We have to look at our relationships the same way. If you are in a relationship where it is serving the purpose that you need, you might not need to upgrade that. You may not need to make any changes to it. You don't need to make any adjustments. But that has to be a mutual agreement between you and your partner, or you and your husband, you and your wife. You all have to agree that we're both on the same page when it comes to us keeping this relationship right here. As we are vetting people for relationships, we can't go into a relationship with those type changes needing to be made and we act like they don't exist. So are we being picky, or are we being selective in how we make sure that we don't end up in divorce court again? You know, someone said to me, you know, you're gonna get married again, and they said it kind of like in a negative way, and I said yes. Now this person has been married 25, 30 years. So, you know, I don't have no thing. Everybody that's married 25, 30 years don't mean that they happily married. That just means that they decided to stay in it. They decided to work through it. They decided that they were going to stay committed to the vows that they made. And I think that's a good thing. If I had still been with my first husband, I think we would still probably be married right now as well. I don't think that we would have stayed in an unhealthy marriage, but I want to make sure that there's balance to both sides, you know, and to understand that a person desiring to be married, well, what's the other option? So the other option is that you can stay out here, you can keep running the streets, sleeping around with different people, and, you know, trying to figure out whether or not they're a good fit for you. And when you don't want them, you throw them back and you get you someone else. No, the truth of the matter is, yes, I'm going to get married because that's the right thing to do for me. That might not be the right thing for someone else. That may not be the right thing for another person. But I'm also going to be vetting persons or people for the purpose of making sure that we are a good fit. Everybody is not going to be a good fit for you, and you are not going to be a good fit for everybody. My personality trait might get on some men's last nerve, and I know that. I can tell it. I can feel it when I'm talking to them, when I'm dating with them. I can tell that my personality trait would be too much for them all the time. The laughy, jokey, silly, they ain't gonna be able to do it. And then there are other people that it's like a yin for a yang. If I say something, they pop right back with something. And we like, man, we can laugh about it. Now, will we stay there all the time? No. There are gonna be some serious moments, and there are gonna be times that, you know, we have to have some real conversations. But the truth of the matter is, in my household, things are pretty light. And so when the person said that about, you know, me sticking with the old, I'm a pretty, um, I don't have to change every time that everything around me changes. And I think that society has set us up, you know, they come out with a new phone. I just paid my phone off about a month or two ago. I paid off all the phones that we have. So every phone that was on my plan for my kids and myself, because we got them at the same time, the phones are paid off. And when I tell you, as soon as the phones got paid off, I don't know, my phone seemed like it started doing something, trying to act up, doing something different. I almost feel like it's forcing me into trying to get a new phone. I don't need a new phone. My phone is, if you take it out this case that I have in, it is beautiful. It looks like it just came out the packaging. But the elements that are in the phone, I believe that they only build them to last a certain amount of time, so that by the time you pay the phone off, it'll make you want to get another one. And I'm not interested in a new phone. I'm good with the fact that it's paid off. I don't have to have the newest features and all the different things, because I don't use this phone for anything but to make these videos and to check text messages and look at a couple of emails, and, you know, to play a few games on. I haven't even used the phone to the full capacity that it already has. So why would I go and get a new phone that would just be giving me better pictures? I think that's what most people do it for. But I want to say that to you guys, to say, think about whether or not you're being picky or whether you're being selective. Make sure that the choices that you make in meeting people, especially if you're dating with the intent of a long-term partner or marriage, that you are looking at those valuable points. And in my maturity, I'm just going to say that I'm probably going to cancel the opportunity for me and this young man to meet, just because the more that I think about it, the less that I think that we might really be compatible. And I just don't think that it would be, based on what we said we were looking for, it would be advantageous for us to move in that direction. So if you guys enjoy my videos, I would love for you to click like. I'd love for you to share it with a friend and help me meet my subscription for getting 200 subscribers by December 31st. Have a great day, guys.